All right, guys, today we're going to talk about the uselessness of fly fishing forums and discussion boards. I am out here on a walk to decompress because I got on a discussion board and it's the stupidest thing I do, and it's almost like a latent addiction to being punished. I think they call it masochism. Anyway, that's what today's talk is about. We're walking around here. I've got to decompress because my blood pressure is off the charts after what I just experienced at the North American Fly Fishing Forum.com. I don't know, my experience with forums started back in 2007, 8, when I started my website, texasflycaster.com. And when I started that website, there was a Texas fly fishing forum discussion board that was pretty active. It was pretty good, pretty active, and it was only about fly fishing, so that was pretty great. And that's about the only people that came there. Well, it went down. And of course, I started mine up, and this is, now we're getting in 2009, 2010, something like that. And I had a small website, pretty unknown, but it was easy enough to start forums back then on a WordPress site, so I did. And it got fairly active, but what I realized with my small time operation was that if you don't have somebody there to keep the bad guys out, you're gonna get hacked. Hacked. So that coincided in those years with the uprising of Facebook. And Facebook was slowly sucking away information from forums and from websites like mine, and sucking away people. And so I shut mine down and never started them up again, probably about 2011 or 12. It was just a pain in the ass. Well, I still participate on one called the Texas Fishing Forum sometimes because it has kayaking, and I talk about that stuff. A little bit about boating, saltwater, normal saltwater, fly fishing area, all that stuff. And so to me, that's a pretty safe place to go. And it was safe for a while until I confronted a guy, and I think it was on that forum. It might have been on the old Texas Fly Fishing Forum, whatever it's called. This guy had long hair. That doesn't matter, I had long hair. But it was a part of his identity. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to what people derive from these message boards like I was on today, and how they feed their egos with these message boards. This guy, I confronted him about plagiarism, and stealing information to put in his own promotions and stuff like that. Not from me, but from someone else. Well, I got a hyper homosexual, almost death threat from him in a personal message. And he backed off the boards and he kind of disappeared over time, but I carried a gun. I was that scared of this guy. I carried a gun for a while because this guy struck fear in me because of his lack of stability in the real world. So that was my first rub with how bad it could be. I think, this was before the word troll even existed. Like the trolls I came across today on the North American Fishing Forum. And it was enough to make me think more about what I was doing, for sure. And anyway, I kind of ducked off of forums for a while and concentrated on my own writing, which is the smartest thing you can do, is just write for yourself, write on your own website, and have your own website. And if people want to read it, they come to read it. If they don't, they don't. You know, it's just one of those things. And I think that works really well for what I was up to. The only reason I started the fly fishing website, well, there's two reasons. One was obvious at first. That was to become a better writer. And the second one became more apparent over time, and that is to share the love of fly fishing, which is what I continue to do today. Try to, anyway. But anyway, the forums really bit it, started to bite it over time. Some of them got hacked pretty good. Some of them just disappeared. But the activity level on these forums is so low now that they're hardly worth the time of day. And that leads me up to my addiction to these forums. Obviously, I like to go there and read, see if I can help people out sometimes. There's other forums I'm on related to Airstream trailers and stuff like that, but this is specifically about fly fishing and the egos we find in the fly fishing forums. Man, it is toxic. That's all I can say. And I think today was my day to be done. But what do you think about these things? Are you on any forums? Are they good, bad, or what? And how long have you been on these forums? I want to know. So please comment down below, and there'll be more information, links to these forums. But let me tell you specifically what happened to me. So I had ChatGPT write me a story on ORVIS and how ORVIS is starting to bite bad. You know, not a big deal. It just is what it is. A retailer that stretched too far got bit. Well, ChatGPT wrote a damn good story. It's on my website. There's a link down below. Whatever. You should be reading as well as watching, people. So, anyway, I went onto the forum, and there had already been a thread started with the announcement of 30-something stores closing in the United States. So I just got on there. Innocent, simple. Just got on there and read everything that I could find on that thread. There's like 3 threads, but one of them seemed to be more up to date and have more information. So I followed through on that thread and read through it, and it didn't have a whole lot of information that I had from ChatGPT. And by the way, if you go there and you see a story by Chet, C-H-E-T, that's Chat. I've decided to name Chat Chet. So enjoy that, a little factoid. So I go there at the very end of all the comments that are there. So mine would be, it looks like I've seen everything, got the most recent one showing. And say, hey, I got this story, it's pretty good on the ORVIS thing, written by ChatGPT. Here's a link if you want to read it. There, go read it, you know. And that's the way I always do my stories. That if I want somebody to have the option, or if I'd like them to read it, or if I think they need to read it, which is no such thing. I don't think anybody needs to read it if they don't want to. They can hit my link on a comment in a post on a discussion board, and then they can actually go to the site and read the story. People, there's not many people on those forums, okay? It's not like I'm going to have this viral moment of people reading a story that's 1,000 words long. That just doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anywhere anymore. It doesn't happen on magazines. People's attention spans are about, you know, you're here, they're about that long. They're not very long at all. So, I get a notice on email that someone's commented on this thread that I'm on about that. Well, several comments, I'd say 3 or 4, are very, very happy these losers are very, very happy that that post I put in was deleted because it was clickbait. Now, if you don't know what clickbait is, that's something to get people to go to a site or whatever. I want you to go to the site, I do, because you don't want to read the whole fucking story right there on a discussion board. Nobody does. Like I said, attention span this big. But it got to me to thinking more about what is the value of discussion boards. And I'd say the value is a negative number now. That discussion boards are basically worthless, especially, I'm gonna stay specifically, not especially, specifically with fly fishing boards. They're worthless. And they're worthless because nobody participates, and the people that participate are in it for these reasons. 1, ego. 2, ego. 3, ego. That's all they have. That's all they're trying to feed, is feed their egos. And you know my philosophy on that. Ego eats brain. And it sure has. So I go ahead and get back on because I'm addicted. And I say, I can post the whole story here if you want. If that's what you want. You won't have to click through. You can be safe and sound on this discussion board and never have to click a little finger to go to my website. Doesn't matter to me. I'm here for the love of the sport. I want you to learn, if you want to learn, and those who don't know, who are younger in the sport, to learn. We're not done yet. We are not done. So, I'm so stupid. I'm just an idiot for being on these forums. It's the most stupid place I could be. Of all the places I could be like this, I'm there. It's the dumbest thing. Okay, so, anyway. I say, well, okay, let me try to make an inroad here. I'm gonna post the comments that I had and the comments that are on that story and that are not on that story that I get from people. And from that, I will, people can read at least the comments. Seemed to make sense to me. So, posted one. It's fine. People liked it all right. Now I've kind of baited them in. Do you want me to give you the other one? It's longer and it's an insider story. Comment, Well, sure enough, I posted, the guy was like, yeah, we can't wait. Just put an emoji on there. Anyway, so I was like, okay. And I put that on there, and sure enough, out comes a troll from under the bridge. And that troll is like, this is not insider information. Anybody could figure that out if they had half a brain. I'm like, oh boy, what have I done to myself? What have I done? It's the stupidest thing I've ever done is to get back on these boards, Because, number 1, ego. Number 2, nothing good comes out of this. It's just an experience that leaves me with a high heart rate, having to go out here in the middle of nowhere to try to decompress and tell you guys, these guys are a bunch of idiots. So they have no interest in furthering the fly fishing sport or the love of the sport. They have interest in one thing only: feeding their egos. These people have been emasculated. This is what I was getting to. Whether it's at home, by their wives, maybe a husband. Very rarely do women do this kind of stuff. Emasculated by their wives, their bosses, their lives. And so that emasculation comes a need for power. At the end, maybe they're retired, maybe they're older, maybe they've had bad experiences in their life, their career, whatever, and they try to gain power and try to show what they know, and they try to put you below them. That's their goal. Number 1 goal is to bring you down. It's not to bring other people up, like I try to do. It's to bring you down. And so, to those guys I say, you. I am not going to play your games anymore. I'm done with that. But I gotta fight back a little bit first. I can't stand it. I'm so addicted. I want to turn around and stay out of the hot sun here. It's warming up now on me now. October, North Texas, can you believe it? So anyway, that's what's going on. Kind of a stream of consciousness, consciousness. Kind of a stream of consciousness thing where I get to vent a little bit. Maybe I'll feel better after this. You know, I'm going to repeat this just for my own well-being. These MFers have been emasculated in one way or another. If you don't know what emasculated means, their balls cut off, really, is what it means. Somewhere, somehow, sometime. And this is where, by hitting comment, that number goes up on the side, right? You know that number on the side says number of posts or comments or whatever? That goes up, and that makes them feel good. It's a drug. It is a dopamine drug, seeing that number go up. And the bigger their number is, the more important they are. Whether any of their comments had any value or not, they got a big number. There's one. It's never more prevalent than if you go to Texas Fishing Forum. There's a guy, he's a great guy. He's probably a great guy. Banker, always fishing. Well, he will put an emoji or a like on every single post that comes out, and he'll comment in the comments with just emojis or good, great, or something like that. And his numbers are like off the charts. He's in the 100,000 comments. I don't know, maybe he's an administrator or something. Maybe he has to do that. I don't know. But what do you get from that, really? I mean, what do you get from having hundreds of thousands of likes and comments and emojis? He's a good guy. I'm sure he's a good guy. I think he actually reads the posts and stuff on Texas Fishing Forum. Good guy. Texas Fishing Forum gives a lot of good information. But is it what it used to be? Oh, hell no. It's not even close to what it used to be, people. These forums and these discussion boards are toxic. And they become toxic as people have become toxic in America. It's a symptom of a bigger problem, is these discussion boards and how people act on these things. But the funny thing is that on this particular thread I was on North American flyfishingforum.com, is that this guy who commented, oh, it's about time you cleaned everything up here, got rid of that clickbait. He actually got the moderator to go along with that stupidity. I mean, how intelligent do you have to be to not clutter up a forum with big long posts that maybe people don't want to read? It doesn't take much intelligence, people. I mean, really, you don't have to be smart. You don't want every single word of a story. I mean, this same guy who's glad that they got rid of my clickbait puts clickbait on the books for him. Tons of it. But it's okay. So, you know there's powerful people. And they have power in one place only, and that's these stupid effing forums. My advice to you is read, don't write. Just read. Do not comment. Do not participate. These forums are toxic now compared to what they used to be. And just take that to the bank, people. Really, just take it to the bank, because that's the America we live in right now. That's pretty toxic. It'll get better. I know it will. I have faith in my country. It's going to get better. But for now, stay off the forums. I tell myself that. I need to tell myself that instead of telling you guys. You guys probably all know better, you know. I guess the last thing I think of is just that the guy that trolled me last, I guess he thinks he knows, or I guess he thinks that I'm writing just for him. That if he doesn't think it's insider information or it doesn't have any value, then it doesn't have any value. Well, let's think about that for a minute. Somebody, somewhere in the world got value from those comments that other people made on my story. My chat story, chat GPT story. So, he's wrong. He's a moron. You're a moron. That's just it, you know. I could call a moron a moron. Come and get me. You know where I am. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I don't know how else to express myself in a way that might be constructive. Just one piece of wisdom and advice. Get off the forums. They're gonna eat your lunch eventually. If you have an opinion or if you're halfway intelligent and you want to say something that's a little bit above whatever low down despicable stuff that's on there, you're going to get in trouble. And, you know, for this, maybe they'll see this. Maybe some of these guys will actually watch this to the end. And then maybe I'll get banned from that website, which will be even better. Because then that breaks my addiction. I can't get that drug anymore, can I? You know, guys, there are good reasons for doing good things. There really are. Thanks for watching. I think my heartbeat's dropped down a little bit now. I think that I can sit and rest and watch the water here in a minute down here by the lake and let the sweat dry. Guys, it doesn't matter if you subscribe, just watch. And if you want to like, go on down into the description. There's going to be some more links there that are pretty valuable, related directly to this story. And I hope you check them out and click through. I'll go ahead and put a link to that forum that I commented on, and you can be the judge of what you saw there. And write a comment, tell me, well, you're a little overreacting, son of a bee, aren't you? To me. Or you can say I was justified. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure you read what I am putting out there. And go to texasflycaster.com, for God's sakes, so that you know what's going on. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tolerating my outburst here. And maybe I won't have to go for a walk for a while. Whew, man.